We are rolling.
Good morning. Welcome back to the conversation. This is Midlife Crisis Activities. This is our lifestyles and pop culture webcast. Our daily shout out to the world. I'm your host, Patrick Russell. And over there's my very vivacious producer, Veronica. Together, we're here to lend our voices to the noise from a multi-generational perspective to help explain everything that's right and wrong in this world. A good Taco Tuesday to you, Veronica. Thank you for letting me choose the topic today. I wanted to talk about how hard it is to get out of bed in the morning. Why don't you go ahead and start off? Tell me, from a younger generation's perspective, what's your routine getting out of bed these days?
You know, I think you and I had a conversation a couple of days ago where I was laughing about the way you wake up because it takes forever. For me, it takes literally like a couple of seconds just to look at my cell phone and be like, okay.
Chicken,
yeah,
as they like to say, can just spring out of bed. Is that right? Well, we'll get back to you in just a second.
I think so. Yeah, it takes, I usually set up my alarm between 5:30, 6 in the morning, and then, that's kind of like my routine. I wake up and then I'm ready.
So, and that's really true, guys. I mean, I have been blessed. I'll say this right now. Every morning I wake up, and with very little to no makeup, I get to wake up to this angel every morning. So I do have motivation to spring out of bed. However, although the mind is willing, the body is no longer able. So the morning time is a very gentle time in the day for me, right? I'm very ginger when it comes to getting out of bed. In fact, I don't even see, my left eye isn't even open until my first cup of coffee. I have mono vision for the first 10 minutes of the day, right?
Yeah.
And I've come to find out begrudgingly that the body absolutely needs what the football coach used to call the warm-up. Even out of bed, I first have my first grumblings, is the first cleaning of the throat. And then, of course, you don't hear it. But under my breath, I'm typically going through a prayer of cussing things out in my life. Do I need a new freaking pillow? Do I need a new freaking mattress? Do I need a new freaking body? You get what I'm saying here? And so by the time I'm able to, what would you say, old man walk with my hand around supporting my back, with my other hand with the lights off, kind of feeling for the walls, even though I've been to the bathroom first thing out of bed 1,000 times. It looks like I'm a lost blind man in a cave that I've never been in before. Does that resemble what I look like in the morning?
I think so. And it's funny per se because you and I exercise and we kind of do our stretching part at night before we go to bed. So yes, it's just, absolutely. You're not a morning person. Let me start by telling you guys he's not a morning person. So what's a morning person? Someone that once they open their eyes in the morning, 5, 6 in the morning, they're
just ready to take on the day.
And they're like emotionally ready, right? He's not. He needs his time alone. He needs his, 40 minutes before I talk to him per se, because otherwise he's like, grumpy. I'm not. I am a morning person. I'm a everyday person. I'm a morning person.
You're cheery, just by nature. You're very cheery. See, the thing about you, Veronica, is that I always like to say, just off topic, is that you're an attractive person, and not just on the outside, which is inarguable, but just on the inside, your spirit, your personality. You always have a lot of friends, and that's really because you care about people, but you do have a very attractive soul, and I'm very blessed to have you in my life. Now, saying that, okay, so part of going to sleep, or part of waking up, is going to sleep at the right time. I've always said that. The trick to waking up early in the morning, and we typically do, between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, and we always say 5:30 and 6 o'clock. Why? Because we do hit the snooze button between you and I. We get it about 3 or 4 times before we actually do crawl out of bed, right? Yeah. Now, and that was the one thing that I wanted to bring back to the reality of your wake up, Miss Spring Chicken. The alarm goes off and my eyes are wide open and I'm ready to take on the day. No. On the fourth ring of the alarm, on the fourth push of the sleep timer, that's the time that she's finally able to crawl up out of bed, and then she's looking pretty good. and ready and pretty spry and ready to take on the day. But not before you hit the sleep snooze button a couple of times.
I mean, yeah, but that's kind of how I plan it, right? So 5:30 and then like 3 alarms. And some people hate having like too many alarms. For me, kind of like gives me the time to set, okay, 5:30 and then 5:45, 6, finally get up and then start doing something, right? So I like having that. But and then once I'm up, I'm like, okay, babe, good morning, let's go. So the first thing that I do is get ready to exercise, and then I do my 45 minutes to an hour working out at home. And that's kind of like...
And you've been very consistent with that, which
6 months
obviously
already.
goes with
6
great
months.
sleep is when you're consistent with the workout. There's no question about that. Final note. The difference between you and I is that when you fall asleep, you're out for the rest of the night. It's very difficult to wake you up. You actually are a pretty sound sleeper when it comes to falling into that deep REM sleep and really getting what the body needs as far as rest. I'm an insomniac, so unfortunately, not only is it hard for me to wake up in the morning, but even if I go to bed at the right time, typically that just means the start of a very long journey throughout the night, 2 hours, 3 hours, I wake up. Can't fall back asleep, have to catch up on some of my shows. Finally go back to sleep, wake up again probably between 4:30 and 5 o'clock, and then I end up getting that last 30 to 45 minutes before you start waking up, and then I have to start the process of the day all over again.
Question, were you always like that, or did you feel that it's been worse ever since like getting older, or do you, like even when you were my age, 20-ish, 30? Were you always like a bad sleeper?
I think the word that probably grasps the difficulty of now waking up is the stiffness. There's a stiffness that overcomes your body even after 2 or 3 hours, very little sleep that now you have to account for before you jump out of bed. And so my biggest concern is, prowlers or a fire or an emergency where I have to jump out of bed.
We're stuck in there.
I might have pulled muscle jumping out of bed. That's my big concern. So, you're right. We do stretching before we go to bed, right? Yeah. I mean, you would even say yoga style stretching because we try to keep the pose for a little bit. I mean, we're going for more stretch and range of motion rather than just the flexibility. So we really try to fight off the stiffness that, I'm sorry, sweetheart, being 15 years older than you, I'm a nice little scout, a fortune teller of what's to come. And let me tell you right now, enjoy your youth, because as you get older, the stiffness sets in, and it's nothing nice.
I'm going to obviously experience through the years if I'm able to sleep. I need 7 hours of sleep, right?
So great. I'm lucky if I get 4.5.
I know. I'm going to see if that happens, or obviously getting older. I think exercising takes a big place into my life. So
big part in it.
Let us know if you guys feel the same. Who struggles more, the husband or the wife? And then put it on the comments.
By all means, guys, use the comment box below. If there is a secret to waking up spry and ready to go, please let me know, because I can certainly use the advice. Guys, don't just subscribe to this channel, even though we will be doing this back and forth to kind of show you how a power couple makes it work. But please lend your voices to the show. It'll make it a whole lot more fun. Guys, no matter what comes your way today, no matter what challenges or obstacles you may face, you just need to remember one thing.
Give him hell.
Have a great day, guys. See you tomorrow.